Russians are equal opportunity malevolent actors. They're not Republicans and they're not Democrats. They're just designed in their foreign policy and their cyber policy to undermine the United States. They view the world as a zero-sum game where anything that's good for us is bad for them and vice versa. I do think, though, that in fairness, some of the responsibility is also attributed to the Obama administration for not establishing a more forceful deterrent. I think it goes back to the Korean hack of Sony, in which there was a minimal response. I think that others around the world watched that and determined that cyber is a cost-free intervention. There will always be a certain level of plausible deniability with cyber because even though we're quite good at attribution now, we're never going to want to fully show our hands about how we know who did what. But you don't need to show your hand as long as you can establish a deterrent. And you don't need to necessarily respond to a cyber attack with another cyber response. I think the response in North Korea should have been an informational response. The North Koreans hate it when South Korea responds with information about how terrible their regime is. That, I think, if we had embarked on an informational response, would have been a deterrent to further North Korean meddling. And with the Russians, we should have called them out much earlier. Senator Feinstein and I were the first two to make an official attribution, but it's not the same coming from two members of Congress from the same party as it is from an administration. And while I respect the motive in terms of the Obama administration, they didn't want to be seen as meddling, the American people had a right to know what was going on and could be trusted to do the right thing with it, and they should have defended being more public and aggressive at the time, at least in my view.
Let me ask you about